waited here for you ever long. Tonight I throw myself into and out of the red, out of her head she sang. Come down and waste away with me, down with me. Slow how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head and out of her head she sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang. Breathe out so I can breathe you in and hold you in.
That's toast.
And now I know you've always been out of your head, out of my head I sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. And she sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang.
Yes, 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 man. What is going on? What is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, my name's Gerald Peters. Welcome back to the channel. Try to go live here every Monday and Friday. Hopefully be back on that hardcore schedule here shortly. Appreciate that, Greg. Greg says, click like and subscribe and share. I do have the goat hat on. I got this as a gift a while back. My man said he's going to sleep watching that Bitcoin chart. What's up, man? Yeah, I thought I'd come on and we at least look at it. Every time I start to write something up about Bitcoin, the fucker goes lower. So I've been trying to hopefully let it catch a bottom here. And let's pull up a chart. If you're not already, let's see. Let me show you this chart instead. All right, so we're at stockcharts.com. If you don't know, if you come over here to public chart list, I'll just real quick hit ours. You can make sure you vote if you do. vote for me, man. Keeps us on the list. And let's see. This should be the link here. Oh, wait. I guess it would help if I presented it correctly. There we go. Anyway, come over to charts, stock charts. Get my goddamn voice right here. You come on over and click on the public chart list, but I'm going to drop it down in here. It'll be in the comments here. If you're not following our charts, you can follow them right there on this link. And we'll show it. It's right here. So should be the correct link. And let's look at some. Let's look at some Bitcoin here. If you don't know, the dollar sign BTC USD, most of this stuff is because Bitcoin and XRP and all the different coins are denominated in dollars. On a lot of the platforms you're going to see, it'll be dollar sign and then the ticker of the coin, and then be the ticker of the coin, and then that should pull it up for you. The same as if you wanted to look at the actual S&P, okay? That would be $SPX, right? And that will give you the actual index without the management costs and the fees taken, and just the pure index would be $. Dow Jones has its own, the NASDAQ, which would be the NASDAQ, the composite. They have their own. What's up, Rodney? Hope you're doing well. So here we are looking at Bitcoin. Now, I think the first thing that comes to mind is we are oversold, right? Then we could all say, yeah, duh. Let's make this a little bigger. I'm going to take it to full page so we can see what we're looking at here. So the RSI is now 29. Now we know with Bitcoin can run hot, meaning it can just keep going into these RSIs. It hasn't done that lately. Like right here, if we look, was pretty much the high, right? Same over here, pretty much the high. So I think as this becomes more of an institutional product, I think we might see less of that running into the RSI and it responding more to some of these traditional indicators as more and more people who come from that way of thinking become involved. I think this is a big deal right here. Bitcoin has dropped below the 200-day, 200-period moving average. This is institutional stuff here. A lot of big banks, institutions, hedge funds, people throwing around the big money. Not the little minnows like us. The people throwing around the big money, man. They're going to, what's up, Instagram? Hopefully Instagram can see us. And I'm not going to hold you long here. You're good over there. Instagram. What am I saying? Instagram. So we have jettisoned underneath jettison. Is that a word? We have blasted underneath the 200. We're down to 91,360. All right. Hopefully you're hearing me back. I did a smooth move there and knocked over my damn mic. Hey, I appreciate you, Rodney. Yeah, we got the death cross. I don't too much worry about no death cross, Ziggy. It is the death cross. A lot of people, I guess some people look at it. Not something I look at. Yeah, we're back. Michael says loud and clear. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too worried about the death cross and all this and that. You like my Pac-Man pin? Somebody said they like the Pac-Man pin. I used to be obsessed with Pac-Man. It was one of the great first games that ever came out, man. That thing eat a lot. I'm talking about passive money. Luke says, pretty cool to think the 200 SMA is above 100K. Let's go. That is, man. That's one way to look at it. It is funny, huh? I don't know. I'm surprised, man. I'm gonna be honest. I thought, man, right around in here we would stop. I really did. I am genuinely surprised we are this low. I'm not quite sure who the sellers are here. This is now an institutional grade asset. We do have the first signs that maybe the downside's losing momentum is the MACD histogram. Now that carries a lot more weight when you look at it on a higher time frame. Okay, it carries a lot more weight as far as directional movement. So when I day trade, I'm usually moving in and out on a 1 minute chart, but I'm looking at the MACD histogram on a 5 minute chart, or maybe higher, or 30-minute chart, whatever, some higher time frame. But it is the first sign in this down move here that there might be the possibility that we're coming to a pause point. Now, I'll give you this other one, and I'm working on an email on this right now on the money flow indicator. The money flow indicator, rare. One Nation's he'd like to see it get down to the 187, 742. I'm going to assume that's probably, you're looking at a weekly chart on that, huh? Maybe there's some a box down there. There's some support and resistance down there at that 80. I would be shocked, but would I? No, I guess not. We are now over 35% off of the high. Yeah, Brandon G says there's big support in that 82 area. Man, if we get down to there, I think some of us are going to have to figure out how to borrow some money and take on some positions. Picking up some BitTo, some things like that. I wish BitTo was paying weekly, man. Man, we get down to the 55K. Dude, you're going to see a lot of people getting the fuck out of Bitcoin. I don't think that happens to us, but hey, I didn't think this would happen. So what do I know? But everything is oversold right now. It is oversold as oversold can be. And Michael Saylor
strategy
was just on
for holders in the past, but so certainly in recent months. In fact, that chart there is saying that this is the first time since 2023 that's negative on the year. And that's worrisome for holders who may not have been in it long enough to know that there are usually some booms and busts with this thing. Now, it does have the meme writers working overtime. I thought this was a fun one, taking shots at the crypto bros. Of course, nobody takes more shots than Michael Saylor, who posted just a few hours ago on X, quote, believe. So let's bring him in now. Strategy founder, executive chairman, Michael Saylor. Michael, some would say that believe is like hope. It's not a strategy. So what's changed? Has anything changed with the value proposition?
Bitcoin's.
You guys see what he did there? He's being funny. Hope.com. That's Michael's website. Strategy is the name of his business. He added it all in one, trying to be funny, man.
Been around for 15 years. It's had 15 major drawdowns. It's always come back to a new all-time high. If you zoom out, this is just par for the course. This is normal in the life cycle of an emergent transformational asset class, and it's a healthy thing. It clears out the tourist, the leverage, and the weak holders, and sets the basis for the next rally upward.
A lot of folks are saying when Wall Street was kicking the tires that when Wall Street got involved, we'd have less volatility. And is that, do you feel right, the Wall Street connection, has that helped or hurt?
I think we are getting less volatility. When I got into this space in 2020, Bitcoin was an 80 vol asset, growing about 80% a year. And it's ground down to 70, 70, 60, 60. And now it's 50 vol asset, growing about 50% a year. I think every few years, you're going to get another 5 points of vol taken off it as it matures. And it's kind of grinding toward being about 1.5 times as volatile as the S&P index and 1.5 times better.
This is why you'll see me say sometimes that volatility is not risk. Volatility is only risk to the short-term trader, okay? To the investor, volatility is opportunity. That's how you make your money. So if you weren't in Bitcoin, now's your chance. Just the problem is when people see it come down so much, they'll say, I'm going to wait. And then they wait and it runs back up. So you just got to get in and hang on, man. Just put in a percentage you can deal with and just let it ride. That's the way I would play it. kind of, you know, some stocks like Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, they've had their ups and downs, Netflix, but man, if you'd have just bought those and just stuffed them away, you're sitting pretty right now. Brandon says, a wise man once said a correction is time to get great assets. A crash is time to see who really, is about the investing and traded life. That's that true. I'm working on an article right now about the true test of an investor trader is when the market corrects. So we'll see how that goes, man. I think Michael goes on and you know, Michael continues to say and share that it's just par for the course. I do want to share a couple breakouts with you. Right here, we see we've got Pepsi, baby. We got Pepsi breaking out. Now, Pepsi, if you're following our charts, come over here if you go to the Money Flow Trade Ideas, and then you take it down to Pepsi. I do have some crypto coin through there we're watching, by the way. I've only been watching the top 5. It's just too many, man. Let's see. Take it over here to Pepsi. I'm going to delete that one. I'm trying to clean up these charts as I go here. So there's only one in there. All right. Pepsi has a true value of $166. Okay. And we're getting a stage 2 breakout at $148. So we could see price climb a little higher. We saw the 200 act as support. Look at these dojis. Look at that doji right there. Bam. Man, look at that doji right there. Doji right there. Doji right there. Man, the dojis are working spectacular on Pepsi. So think on that as you watch charts. Let's see. What is he saying? Brandon says Lulu wants everyone in the MFG to join it. Just been sitting in a stage 1 for the past week or so. Oh, someone talking about Lululemon. What stock did you play today in the market? Not much, man. I'm looking at closing out a position. And I'm just letting everybody know what I'm doing. Obviously, you can do what you want to do. I am watching Bitcoin here back to Bitcoin for just a second, on the 30-minute chart. Okay. So here's 30-minute chart of Bitcoin. And as a trader, it's setting up nice. You had a little bottom, boom, you could enter on the stage 1, boom, there's the breakout. And that was at 90, right around 90, 91,000. And then it ran up to 93,750. I'm not that good with math, but that looks like about a 2,000 point run. If you're using Coinbase, you can trade this using perpetual contracts. It'll give you 10, sometimes higher leverage. It gives you higher leverage than futures does for Bitcoin. Okay. And it gives you higher than the 2X. So that's one way to play it. If you're going to trade on it, I would drop down to say a 30-minute chart, catch those swing trades on that. Some other good plays would be, as our friend here mentioned, would be BITO, tracks the price of Bitcoin, be MSTR, that's MicroStrategies, and maybe MSTU or MSTY if you're, well, I was going to say in the second income stream, except you can't get no margin on it. That's all right. If it comes down a little bit more, I don't need margin on it. I'm going to get such a good price maybe that I can just throw $1,000 at it, $2,000 at it in my second income stream account. And, you know, if I lose $1,000, I lose $1,000, but it's probably going to, if we time it right, we're going to catch the bottom bit and that's going to run. I would probably pick up BITO. I don't know. I might split it. Put some in BITO and some in, MSTY if I'm trying to play the dividend game with these. But try to time the bottom best you can. That'll hold off any erosion as we run higher. So I think we got some opportunities here. Pepsi was one that has sold off. I think we're going to start to see some of these other assets. Money's not going anywhere. It's not going to zero. It's going somewhere. So as money comes out of tech and as money comes out of Bitcoin, it's going to roll into stuff like, I'm closing out WBD, which is the Warner Brothers HBO spinoff that we got for owning shares of AT&T. It's finally paid us some money. So because we were able to compound, position trade it, and make money on those and put shares into those stage 1s, I've been able to what some people call lower your price point. That's not my intention. My intention is to build it up on stage ones, which by nature over time will likely lower your price point, but it may not. You can't lower your price point on NVIDIA if it's going up. You can't lower it on Amazon as it goes higher and higher and higher and higher. So I don't like to think in terms of lowering my price point, because you're not going to be able to lower your price point on one that's going up. It'll go up, pull back a little, stage one. Go up, pull back a little, stage one. And you'll never get to lower your price point. You're going to buy higher and higher and higher stage ones. So that's why I don't like to use that terminology much. So I think we're seeing that here with some other stocks in play. I like Dr. Pepper. Haven't made a move on it. What is that? KDP. And look, Dr. Pepper getting the big breakout, and it's trading below the 200-day moving average. I put this one into, if you go to the newsletter, if you go to the petersreport.com and you go to the back, man, and you go to the back and you look at page 38. Also, a lot of things, the pictures you do in there, those are links to videos, by the way, ones that I think are worth watching. Let's share this. So this is page 38 of the newsletter. I've been putting the VIX up there, and month to date, the S&P was down 1.6%. Not sure where it's at now. This isn't every stock I own. This isn't every stock I'm trying to play. What the board is really about is helping me spot the rotation from a stage one, stage three, the breakouts, growth, B&B, speculation, and hopefully open trades. And what I'm watching, as I begin to look at this board, I can begin to see the rotations. As I look at the different, a lot of times when you start seeing me put the sectors, the AIK, the X, XLB, XLC, XLF, XLI, XLK, XLRE, as you begin to see me put these on there, and for the different sectors of the 11 sectors of the S&P 500, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to spot what I believe would be a possible rotation or change. General Mills, probably going to have a breakout in. Kellogg's, all these type of stocks. Getting back to these old school, those stocks will catch a bid at some point. Dogs of the Dow between Verizon, Chevron, Merck, Amgen, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, United Health, Nike, and Home Depot. That's a wide spread of the industrial efforts of America. So watching Bitcoin closely on this 30-minute chart. Back to Bitcoin. I put some lines in here. I'm expecting it to kind of pause right in here in this 91,300 range and possibly turn there and head back up if we're going to, and we get a rally up into the 39,750 and then possibly catch this 94,152 where we hit the 200 period. We'll see, man. But remember, the whiteboard really is about helping you. The whiteboard is really about helping you spot the rotation turns, understand the pieces that make up the market, the 11 sectors, and everything falls under the electric: insurance, home builders, materials, communications, energy, finance, industrial, technology, consumer staples, real estate, utilities, healthcare, consumer discretionary, oil and exploration, retail. This is going to encompass everything, man. So you really want to keep an eye on those. And if you're looking, what do you see? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Everything's a stage one, but a few things. And only a few things ran up, and those were threes. And if you looked on the whiteboards previous weeks, right? Go back. We talked about that. Like 2 weeks ago, I was saying, hey, oil's setting up. And then we saw oil try to make a run. I don't know if we make it back to 60, man. Everybody's got these low numbers now. We were going to go to 1 million. Now we're going back to 20,000. So everything's extreme when it comes to Bitcoin. So be looking at these. Get back into these old school stocks. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. This Bitcoin's broken right now. We got plenty of time. If you don't have a position, now's your chance, man. Now is your chance to start building it. Don't worry about what the fucking price is. Just start buying some Bitcoin. Turn on that daily drip. Buy that $10, $25 every day. And if it goes down, good. And just keep building it. Bitcoin's been known to disappear for 3, 4, 5 months where it's just boring, nothing. And that's your chance to build that position. So when it runs, And, you know, that's how that goes, man. We're going to 1 million. I have no doubt. If you don't believe that, get out. You really should get out and just play something else. Let's see. A lot of good plays out there. Dr. Pepper, Keurig Dr. Pepper, breaking out right here. Boom. Got the breakout. RKT, Rocket Companies, Rocket Mortgage. I think this thing runs. I think you got an easy $4 there. Oh. Yeah, $1 million ain't nothing, man. That's just a 10x from where we were. How many times is Bitcoin 10x? To me, that seems easy. $1 million seems easy. I mean, once we get to 500,000, $1 million is just a double. And things double all the time. So it's just a matter of math. The numbers just get big and it throws people off. Like I have a hat that says Dow 50,000. Everybody thought that was crazy at 25,000. I was like, guys, it's just a 100% move. We could do that in a year or two. Dow's going to 1 million. Your kids are going to be looking at a Dow Jones 1 million. And they're going to be like, Dad, why didn't you buy it in the 20,000s? I don't understand. It's just numbers, man. It's just numbers. The numbers just look big, you know. And in a lot of retail, especially retail traders' heads, they think that it's easier. What's up, Wendy? Hope you're doing good. They think it's easier to take a $1 stock and make it $2 than it is to make a $1,000 stock and make it 2,000. And that's just not true. It's easy. These are all the same, guys. It's all the same. It's just numbers. It's just percentages. So I like Rocket Mortgage here. It's set up real nice. The last attempts to push it down have just, if you look at it, they have just come back. I think the market goes higher. I know a lot of people are negative, but look at this. You got a doji on the anchor, and then we've just been going straight. And every time they tried to break it down, it's come back. I think it goes higher. We got a whole list of these. If you haven't had a chance to go over to my board and look, all the stage ones I think are buyable, or I wouldn't put them on the board. Okay. I think all the B&Bs are worth keeping an eye on. Follow the rules for that. I don't know which one of these might be of interest to you. We have some good buy and hold, or for your second income stream, we got ECC, CCIF. You got MO as a possible erosion trade, throwing out the big fat 7-8% dividend yield. We got PNNT. That's for your buy and holds. And all of those could be used in your buy and holds. PNNT is not going to give you much in the way of margin. So it's just not something we talk much about in the second income stream. Something to keep that in mind. Doesn't the bear always come out in the winter in the stock market? Can. I don't know about always. Nothing's always, but it does stay a lot. Stay bullish. One day says stay bullish. Never lose that mindset. Thanks, GP. You bet, man. I do my very best to try to keep everyone as bullish as possible. Trump is giving every newborn child $1K for the next 3 years. The market should stay up. Man, what if he gave him in Bitcoin? And they had to buy that shit. The government's got to go in and buy that Bitcoin to hand it out to all those kids. That would be beautiful. Let's check in on Nike here real quick. I like Rocket Mortgage. I like Pepsi. I like all of the consumer staples. What do we got? I don't even have to look at them. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking there's Kraft breaking out. I can just go down the list of the XLP stocks, okay? They're probably all breaking out. General Mills. Let's look, GIS. Yep, it's breaking out. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing the tab. So here's GIS, been in a long protruded downtrend, breaking out. So is Kraft, so is Dow. So all of these stocks that have been ignored are breaking out. Thoughts on NVIDIA? NVIDIA is the strongest stock in the stock market. It's going to come down as weekends get shaken out. I would play the NVIDIA 2X if I was you. I wouldn't play the 1. And NVIDIA is fixing to have earnings, right? Or do they have them today? It was Wednesday after the close. And then Thursday is Walmart. And so we should hear about the AI trade, and we should hear about the consumer, how they're doing, and people at work, they go to Walmart, how they're doing, how they're spending their money, man. So right now, I think you get in there and you start looking at these XL. What's the NVIDIA 2X is? What is it? NVDU. Lulu, you need to come join us, man, inside the Money Flow Trading Society. Come join us in our Discord. We like trading those. We're all about trading I'd much rather trade 2Xs than trade the singles personally on those stocks. Something else you might consider, I'm about to send out an email. If you're not on if my Bitcoin email list, it's free. It's just about Bitcoin. Doing an article on it entitled The Right to Be Rich. And so it's a series, and I'm going to break down the 17 chapters of the Science of Getting Rich. I'm going to break it down in more common language as a series that comes out on the Bitcoin list. Well, there's for every stock you can think of: Tesla, Amazon, AMZU, Tesla, TSLL. All these stocks have 2Xs. That's why you join a group, so that you can take in a lot of information really fast, because some people are going to be looking at some things and you're going to be focused on this and you're going to miss this. As a group, we can see everything. Written by Full Auto 11, inspired by Wallace Waddles. And it opens with Bitcoin's price has smashed through 90K at the time of this writing, and that's 35% below its October record high. Can you imagine what would happen if the S&P 500 had fallen by 35% since October? Armageddon would be my guess. And then I go, let's get something straight. There's nothing noble about being broke. You can't live your best life or reach your fullest potential without money. It takes resources to grow mentally, spiritually, and physically. Can't expand your mind, develop your talent, or live freely without access to things that help you do that. And Bitcoin is one such thing that can help you reach your financial goals sooner than you thought. So I'm going to combine the Science of Getting Rich with Bitcoin and some others, but right now it's just Bitcoin. Yeah, and we got the 4X buy, so that's kind of cool. We can 5X Bitcoin through Coinbase. You can 10X Bitcoin. If you catch the bottom of Bitcoin and use Coinbase and you buy perpetual contracts, you can buy 10 fucking times your money. I don't know about you, but 10,000 sounds like 100 fucking thousand when you 10X it. So your 10,000 would trade $100,000 of Bitcoin. 10,000 would control one coin or more than a coin now. And you could do that into perpetual contracts. They don't expire. You might look into it. It's on Bitcoin. It's on Coinbase. If you haven't thought about that, it may be a shot that's worth taking for some people. That $10,000 shot, turn that 10 into 100. You never know. I wouldn't do that unless you can afford to lose that 10. Just an idea, something to think about, man. You're going to spend all your damn money on something anyway. You're probably going to throw it all away. You're going to go buy shit from fucking Walmart. You're going to buy a bunch of shit from Target. You're going to buy a bunch of shit from the mall. You're going to spend all your goddamn money. You're going to throw it all away, spend it on fucking nothing. You may as well make a bet on Bitcoin. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, we're breaking right through my level here. So down we go. Might get short. If I was going to short it, if I was day trading and I was trying to play the short game, I would have done it a minute ago. I might have to, probably going to, oh, Lulu, it is very true. You're going to spend all your money on complete shit. You're going to buy cars that go to zero, houses that you trash out. You're going to spend all this shit on your kids. And they don't give a fuck about anything you buy them. It's just all a big fucking waste. And then you get them into Bitcoin and they're not sure if they should buy any. Man, people are weird, man. People are weird. They will smoke it, drink it, fuck it, anything they can do. But when it comes to buying shit that can improve, they're slow to move. It's crazy. That's human nature, though. NVIDIA sitting at 181, right at support. If that breaks, it's probably going down to the $150. That's down to the 200-day moving average. I think about then we're gonna have full-blown correction on. That'll be all right. If you have a CIST account, make your list now. What you're gonna cut to survive. You want to protect the income. Means you're gonna have to sell something maybe. If you catch yourself a little margined, if you're a little heavy margin, keep that in mind, man. Or raise some cash to just set it in the account. That's always an option too. All right. Might not be a bad time to go borrow some money. Dump it in the account. Don't margin it up and wait. So you can ride it out and then start buying shares lower. Just an idea, man. I'm working on a video to talk about that, man. I hope this helps. I really do appreciate everybody comes in and visits with me here. And let's go out. I'll finish what Sailor was saying, and then we'll close it out.
Better performing.
Could it be a degree of of its own success in the sense that it feels like other cryptos this year and other other stories in this area have gotten a lot of attention. Oh,
and I'm long gold
take away
and
some
silver
potential Bitcoin buyers
using futures contracts.
Well, there's a lot of
Coinbase.
exciting things going on in the economy. There's digital intelligence and AI. There's and you can't dismiss any of them, but Bitcoin still remains the ultimate digital opportunity for a sound money enthusiast. Third-party risk, Bitcoin is stronger than ever. These other opportunities are going to continue to be shiny things, and you can leave them to the tech investors that are experts in those areas.
So let's talk about your company for a moment. Strategy, the shares, we're going to put it on the screen here. Getting hammered pretty good. And many talk about the financing or your financing approach. Explain to the audience once again the approach that you use to raise money so that you can buy Bitcoin, and why and why maybe it's some are saying that that's going to collapse.
The company is up about 70% a year for the past 5 years. Bitcoin's up about 50% a year for the past 5 years. So it's actually one of the top performing companies, maybe it plus NVIDIA in the entire S&P index. We're also the best capitalized company in the crypto economy. We've got more than $50 billion of equity, and we're a financial powerhouse. We have billions of dollars of liquidity in the equity every day. And our credit instruments are 100 times more liquid than the average preferred equity. So our approach is to raise capital by selling digital credit or by selling equity to invest in Bitcoin, which is digital capital. Bitcoin's appreciating about 50% a year for the past 5 years. We expect it'll appreciate about 30% a year for the next 20 years. And we offer these credit instruments that pay about 10% dividend yield in the form of a return on capital dividend, so it's tax deferred, and so it's a pretty strong business model. If you want to work out the math, as long as Bitcoin goes up 1.25% a year, the company can pay the dividend forever and create more shareholder value. If Bitcoin stops going up 0% forever, we got about 80 years to figure out what we're going to do about it.